Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointles, the quiz show that puts obscure knowledge to the test. Let's meet today's players. Now, first up, we welcome back Emily and Ellie, who were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final. This is your second and final chance. Emily, remind us how you know each other.
We studied history together at Leeds University.
And Ellie, what happened last time?
Well, it was the first round and we went out, sadly. I did a blinding answer, got 13 points, then Emily...
Gambled badly.
Yeah.
OK, well, listen, we'll put that behind us. What's going to be good for you today, Emily?
Well, music, sport for Emily would be a good
Sport, we
shout,
discovered you were a Premier League women's footballer.
Yeah.
She played for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, last
and
season.
Leeds.
Yeah.
That's just so impressive. Anything you really hope doesn't come up?
Shakespeare.
Yeah, Shakespeare, literature in general.
OK.
Certain literature would be good. Harry Potter, I think we'd absolutely...
You'd have that one.
Storm that round.
Yeah.
But
OK. Have you read Harry Potter extensively?
Extensively,
repeatedly?
Yeah. I think 7 times each book is the
you
current count.
You are joking.
No, that's a bit sad, but... Oh.
Wow.
A bit sad?
Yeah. I'm a student, I have a lot of spare time on my hands, so...
OK. As you say, it was round 1 last time. We've got to have high hopes that we see more of you this time. Best of luck. I have no doubt we will. And next, we welcome Tristan and Laura. Now, how do you two know each other, Tristan?
We worked together, and then we started dating then. And so we've been going out with each other for about a year and a half.
Whose idea was it to come on Pointless?
Mine, I guess, yeah.
I introduced him to the show, though.
Oh, did you? Did you know? Now, Laura, what do you hope is going to come up? What's your favourite kind of round on Pointless?
Probably something to do with capital cities or countries.
OK.
Or I spent a lot of time in Scandinavia with work, so it would be kind of embarrassing if I didn't get anything right about those. So.
OK, that'd be good. Tristan, how about you?
I used to work for the Met Office, so maybe different types of cloud. That would be handy.
Really?
I used to know 30 different types of cloud.
If you work for the Met Office, you can be a weather forecaster, can't you?
Yeah.
Tristan would be good, wouldn't
he?
he?
In fact, if you have to work for the Met Office to be a weather forecaster.
Yeah. But don't you think Tristan would be a good weather forecaster?
Very good. Would you consider if an opening presented itself?
Well, you know, for the right money, who knows? Make me an offer.
Because I've heard the Met Office, they are...
Oh, yeah, they are coining it.
Wow. Yeah, Carol Kirkwood.
Ah, she's Britain's 3rd richest woman.
That's right. Yeah.
After the Queen.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, Carol Kirkwood.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, listen, very, very best of luck to you, Tristan and Laura. Lovely to have you on the show. And next we welcome Michael and Josh. How do you two know each other?
We've been friends for a while. My first day at new school, I got sat next to Josh and wore him down and we became friends.
And Josh acclimatised you?
I sort of took him under my wing, so to speak.
So, Michael, what do you like to get up to in your spare time?
In my spare time, I'm a big sports fan. Me and Josh have played sports together quite extensively. We used to play American football, and we played an American football team together. We're actually, at under-16 level, English champions.
Just the 2 of you?
Just 2 of us.
Wow, you must be pretty good.
Just us 2, yeah. Didn't need
Wow.
the rest of the guys, just us 2, yeah.
What other areas are there going to be good for you? Other areas of strength in a pointless
We
sort
think
of
music
scenario?
might be quite good. We've been in a band together in the past, so quite into like heavy rock music.
Also, maybe if they have competition in the geography front, world capital, something like that would be great for us, I think, as well.
OK, so it's quite an impressive lineup, this lot, isn't it?
Well, they're certainly promising much.
They're promising a lot. OK. Well, Michael and Josh, we will discover how much you know. Very best of luck. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And finally, we welcome back Colin and Dot, who were also on the show last time. Colin, remind us how you know each other.
Dot's my big sister.
And Dot?
I'm his little sister, but older, if you see what I mean.
What happened last time, Dot?
Oh, last time I got me Canada and the USA mixed up.
And you joined the 200 Club as well, that round. But anyway, you're back again. You're back again. The slate's been wiped clean.
Yes.
And you've sort of kind of been around the track now. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
What do you hope is going to come up?
Literature, films, a wee bit of Eastern Europe might be handy.
Anything you want to add to that, Colin?
Well, we like different things. I like geography, science, sport, maybe even 70s music.
OK, well, very, very best of luck to you, Colin and Dot. Lovely having you back on the show. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show as it goes along. There's only one person left for me to introduce, a man who has never written boobies on a calculator because he thinks maths should be treated with more respect. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Wow, you can write boobies on a calculator?
Yeah.
Oh, man, my
Yeah.
life would have worked out very differently if I'd found that out. It should be a good show today. We've got two returning pairs, neither of whom showed their full potential last time, I don't think. Emily and Ellie went out first round. They were slightly unlucky to do so, I think. And Colin and Dot, as you say, joined the 200 club in the second round. And Dot, as well, has joined her own personal 200 club. She got 100 for both her answers. But if she likes literature, I suspect you might be able to break that hoodoo in the first question today.
Very exciting. OK, well, all our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show. In order to get to the final round and be in with a chance of winning our jackpot, our contestants need to find the obscure answers those 100 people didn't get. So the fewer of the 100 people who knew the answer, the fewer points you will score. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is to find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave. And each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £10,250. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever pair has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so try and make sure that's not you. OK, our first category today is novels. Can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, our question concerns novels with a surname in the title. Novels with a surname in the title. Richard.
OK, on each pass, we're going to show you the titles of 7 novels which have a surname in their title, but we've left that surname blank. Can you fill it in for us, please? Give us a nice obscure answer. You're going to score fewer points, but give us an incorrect answer, you'll score 100 points. It's going to be 14 in all, so some of the literature buffs at home might try to go for all 14, but I think there'll be a few up there for everybody. Very, very best of luck.
OK, thanks very much. Now then, Emily and Ellie, you all drew lots before the show, and today you are going to go first. So we are looking for the missing surnames from these book titles, and we have got Silas Blank, George Eliot, Agnes Blank, Anne Bronte, The Talented Mr. Blank, Patricia Highsmith, Stuart Blank, E.B. White, The Great Blank, F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Story of Dr. Blank, Hugh Lofting, and The Swiss Family Blank, Johann Wyss. I'll read those all one last time. Silas Blank, George Eliot, Agnes Blank, Anne Bronte, The Talented Mr. Blank, Patricia Highsmith, Stuart Blank, E.B. White, The Great Blank, F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Story of Dr. Blank, Hugh Lofting, and The Swiss Family Blank, Johann Wyss. So there we are, 7 novels with surnames missing from their titles. Emily, what are you thinking?
I'm almost certain I know one. And it's really bad because I know it from the film. So I'm going to go for Johann Wyss, and it's a Swiss Family Robinson.
Swiss Family Robinson, says Emily. Let's see how many of our 100 said Swiss Family Robinson. Absolutely right. Oh, 85. Oh, that's high. 85 for Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah, very popular one and very good film as well. It's actually, it was originally written by Johann Wyss's father, and he completed it and edited it and published it. That's sweet, isn't it?
That is nice.
Yeah.
Now then, Tristan.
Yeah.
What do you make of this board?
I could guess at a few of them, certainly. I'm going to try to stay away from ones that are the more famous films. I think I'm going to have to go for one I'm sure of, so I'm going to say The Great Gatsby.
The Great Gatsby, says Tristan. The Great Gatsby. Let's see how many people knew that answer. Absolutely right. 59.
Yeah, another big answer, but a very safe score. Francis Scott Key Fitzgerald. Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, playing Gatsby in the 2012 movie.
Now then, Josh.
Literature is not a good subject for us. This is our weakness. I recognise a couple, I hope. I'm going to say The Talented Mr. Ripley.
The Talented Mr. Ripley, says Josh. Talented Mr. Ripley. Let's see how many people said that. It's right. 64.
Yeah, we're seeing some big scoring from our 100 people, aren't we? Yeah, the wonderful Talented Mr. Ripley. Have you ever read any of the Ripley books?
No.
Oh, they're terrific. Patricia Highsmith was a wonderful writer.
I'll look them up. Dot, you're the last person to have this board.
I am. Do you want me to talk it through?
No. Yes,
No.
I do. I really do.
Well, there's one I definitely know, but I would guess that the story of Dr. might be Zeus, might be Stuart Little. Don't know what Agnes' second name is, but certainly George Eliot's novel is Silas Marner.
Silas Marner, says Dot. Silas Marner. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people knew that answer. Very well done, Dot. 35. Best score of the pass.
Yeah, absolutely right. And George Eliot, of course, the pseudonym of Marianne Cross or Marianne Cross. 35 points. Let's fill in the rest of the board. You're right about Stuart. It is Stuart Little. Well done, Dot. That would have scored 44 points, though, so it's well avoided. Do you know the story of Dr...
That's Doolittle.
It is Dr. Doolittle, yeah, absolutely right. 11 points, so well done if you said that at home. But the best answer on the board is Anne Bronte's novel Agnes
Grey.
Agnes Grey, absolutely right, and that would have scored 5 points. Very well done if you got all 7 of those. There's 7 more to come as well.
OK, thanks very much. We're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at our scores. Dot, the lowest scorer in that pass, lovely low score of 35. Then we travel up to 59, where we find Tristan and Laura. Then up to 64, where we find Josh and Michael. Then up to 85, where we find Emily and Ellie. Now then, Ellie, you can't leave us in the first round this show. So we need a really low score from you. So, yeah, very, very best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, so we're going to put 7 more novels on the board with missing surnames. And we have got Little Blank, Charles Dickens, Mrs. Blank, Virginia Woolf, The World According to Blank, John Irving, The Adventures of Augie Blank, Saul Bellow, The Blank Identity, Robert Ludlum, The Island of Dr. Blank, H.G. Wells, and Lorna Blank, R.D. Blackmore. I'll read those all one last time. Little Blank, Charles Dickens, Mrs. Blank, Virginia Woolf, The World According to Blank, John Irving, The Adventures of Augie Blank, Saul Bellow, The Blank Identity, Robert Ludlum, The Island of Dr. Blank, H.G. Wells, and Lorna Blank, R.D. Blackmore. There we are. Now, we are looking for the surnames that complete the titles of these novels. And obviously, Colin, you're going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. You're on 35, thanks to Dot's clever answering in the first pass. The high scorers are Ellie and Emily on 85. A score of 49 or less will keep you in the game.
Well, I'm going to try and play safe, Alexander. Since we're lowest in the first round, I'll just go for Little Dorrit.
Little Dorrit, says Colin. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said Little Dorrit. Here is your red line. Below that red line, and you will avoid becoming the new high scorers. Little Dorrit. How many people said it? Absolutely right. Yep, you've done it. 42. 42 takes your total up to 77.
Well done, Colin. Perfect tactics there. Yeah, Amy Dorrit, known as Little Dorrit, born and spends much of her life in Marshalsea Prison.
Now then, Michael. The high scorers are still Ellie and Emily on 85. You're on 64, so a score of 20 or less keeps you in the game for sure.
Struggling on, I don't know whether to take a risk on one that's set some bells going in my mind, or play it a little bit safe and try and avoid the 100. I can't risk 100, I'm not that certain on it, so I'm going to play The Bourne Identity.
OK.
I hope it's the same as the film.
Michael is saying The Bourne Identity. Let's see, how many people said The Bourne Identity? Is it right? Absolutely right. Ooh, it's a high score, Michael. 78 takes your total up to 142.
Yeah, one of the many Bourne books by Robert Ludlum has also been carried on after his death as well. And I think because of the films, obviously very well known.
Now then, Laura. The high scorers are now Michael and Josh on 142. You're on 59. So a score of 82 or less keeps you in the game.
Yeah, that was the only one that I knew. I'm going to have to just guess. I'll say that Smith is a common surname. And just say The World According to Smith.
The World According to Smith, you're saying, the John Irving book. OK, well, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Bad luck, Laura. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points, and that takes your total up to 159. Richard.
Yes, sorry, Laura, not Smith, and I'll give you the correct answer at the end of the pass.
Now then, Ellie, you are the last person to have this board. Is there anything left that's any good for you?
To be honest, the Born Identity and Little Dorrit were my two that I knew when they came up. So I think I'm just going to have a guess. For some reason, Mrs. Brown is ringing a bell. It's probably completely wrong, but I'm just going to go with that and keep my fingers crossed. So I'm going to go with Mrs. Brown.
You're going to say Mrs. Brown for Virginia Woolf. Here comes your red line. If you get below that red line, you're through to the next round. Mrs. Brown, is that right? How many people said it? No. Bad luck, Ellie. I'm afraid an incorrect answer, which means you also score the maximum of 100 points, and that takes your score up to an unbeatable 185. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Ellie, not Mrs. Brown. It's Mrs. Dalloway. It's the Virginia Woolf novel. Would have scored you 5 points. Okay, let's take a look and see if anyone at home's got all 14 of those by filling in the board. Xander, I suspect you'll be able to do these. The World According to...
Garp.
Garp, absolutely right. T.S. Garp is the name of that character. 19 points. Lorna, that's a big scorer down the bottom.
Doone.
Lorna Doone, absolutely right, by R.D. Blackmore, would have scored 60. Well done again to our 100. The Island of Dr.
Moreau.
Moreau, absolutely made into a disastrous film starring Marlon Brando, 25 points. And the best answer on this board, The Adventures of Augie
March.
March is the correct answer, yeah, 2 points. Very well done to anyone who got all of those at home. And well done to 100 people as well, some big scores up there.
Very good indeed. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our first round, the losing pair with the highest score, Ellie and Emily.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that was quite a tough board. And now, Emily, the first board, did you only have one answer on that?
I knew The Great Gatsby, and I knew the title of Mr. Ripley.
And if you'd gone a little bit...
For some reason, I thought that Swiss Army Robinson wouldn't be as popular. Oh, well.
Bad luck. I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to you, Ellie and Emily. It's been great having you on the show, though. Thanks very much for playing. Emily and Ellie. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, obviously, there's only going to be room for 2 pairs in our head-to-head round, so one of the pairs in front of me now will be leaving us at the end of this round. Well, our category for round 2 is the Commonwealth. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Commonwealth countries which are not in Africa as they could. Richard.
We're looking for any country other than the UK, which is a member of the Commonwealth, but not in Africa or not widely regarded to be in that geopolitical region. So any country of the world that's a member of the Commonwealth and is not in Africa, please. And as always, by country, we mean a member of the UN that is a sovereign state in its own right.
Thank you very much. Now then, Laura, you are going to go first. What is the most obscure Commonwealth country you can think of that is not in Africa?
Okay, so I'm just thinking of countries that have the Queen as the monarch. So I think St. Vincent and the Grenadines has the Queen as the monarch. So.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's absolutely right. There we are, Laura. Very well done indeed. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £10,500. It scores you nothing. Brilliant answer.
Very well played, Laura. That makes up for getting 100 in the first round, doesn't it? Yeah, it's been a member of the Commonwealth since 1979.
OK, thanks very much. Now then, Michael.
Thinking around a few, but I think the one I'm going to go with, maybe a bit of a risk, I'm going to say Bermuda.
Bermuda. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 said Bermuda.
Painful.
Bad luck, Michael. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not a country, I'm afraid, Michael. It's a British overseas territory.
Colin.
Right. I think I'll play reasonably safe on this. I've been to a few Commonwealth countries. I'm going to go for New Zealand.
New Zealand. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it. New Zealand. Wow, 27 for New Zealand. 27?
27, I know.
Low, isn't it?
A very low score. But again, if you're having to name them all in 100 seconds, there's a lot of answers, so things get left off the list.
I guess.
One of the original Commonwealth countries as well, New Zealand.
OK, thanks very much. We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Well, the best score of the lot was Laura's there. Lovely low score of 0. Then we go up to 27, where we find Colin and Dot. And then, I'm afraid, a long way up to 100, where we find Michael and Josh. You know what you have to do, Josh.
Yeah.
And then we have to hope that's enough to keep you in the game. Very best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we are looking for non-African Commonwealth countries. Dot, you're on 27. The high scorers are Josh and Michael on 100. A score of 72 or less will keep you in the game.
It's quite a tricky one for me, so I'm actually just going to play it extremely safe and go with Australia.
Here is your red line. Below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see how many people said Australia. Is it right? It's right. And you are through to the next round. Wow.
Whoa.
34. 34 takes your total up to 61.
Perfect tactics there. Dot did exactly what you had to do there and safely through. Well played.
Now then, Josh, talking of tactics, only one particular outcome can keep you in the game, and that is if you score a pointless answer and if Tristan scores 100, and then it goes to a tie.
I'm not confident at all. I'm going to say Tuvalu.
Say it one more time.
Tuvalu.
Tuvalu. OK, Tuvalu, says Josh. Tuvalu. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Tuvalu. It's right. And it's pointless, Josh. Very, very well done. That adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to 10,750. It scores you nothing. It leaves... It leaves your total at 100 points. You are still the high scorers, but that was the first thing you had to do.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Couldn't do any better than that, Josh. Very well played. Do you want a fact about Tuvalu?
I'd love one.
Given we mention it so often?
Yeah.
It doesn't have a single stream or river.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you're eating in Tuvalu, don't have the fish. OK, there we are. Now then, Tristan. So we're looking for any Commonwealth country that's not in Africa.
I do know a number of countries that I suspect may be good, but bearing in mind I don't need to go for a good one, I'm not sure I should go for one.
OK, well,
plus-
just to put you in the picture, the high scorers are Josh and Michael on 100.
Yeah.
If you can score 99 or less,
I know.
you are through to the head-to-head.
I think I am going to say one that's maybe a little bit out there, but I'm reasonably confident. I'm going to say the Solomon Islands.
OK, let's see. The Solomon Islands. Is it right? How many people said it if it is? It's right, and you're through. Very, very well done. Now, let's see where this stops. Very well done, Tristan. Another pointless answer. That adds another £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £11,000. It scores you nothing. It leaves your total at nothing. A double pointless score. Very, very well done indeed. Richard.
Wow, you have to say that was gutsy, Tristan. It really, really was. You didn't need to do it at all, but very well played. Let's take a look at some more pointless answers. We've already had 3, but there's a few more. You could have had Bangladesh, Brunei, Guyana. It all would have been pointless. Malaysia, the Maldives, Nauru, another of our regular pointless answers. St Vincent and the Grenadines we have from Laura, Tonga and Tuvalu that we have from Josh. Could have also said Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Kiribati, and of course the Solomon Islands. Very well done if you've got any of those at home, and very well done to our teams as well. 3 pointless answers.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, Josh and Michael. Bermuda wasn't a bad answer, it was just a wrong answer. But your thinking was absolutely correct.
Should have named an actual country.
Yep.
Well, there you go. But Josh, a pointless answer. So, I mean, although you leave us, you leave a legacy behind.
Yeah.
And maybe that jackpot may still be waiting for you when you come back next time.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been great having you on the show. I'm sorry I have to say goodbye to you now, but we'll see you again next time. Josh, Michael, great contestant. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Well, congratulations, Colin and Dot, Tristan and Laura. You're now only 1 round away from the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £11,000. OK, you're now going to go head-to-head, and the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. But the big news is you are now allowed to confer. So, yes, here you are in the head-to-head. New territory for both pairs. Very, very best of luck to all of you. Let's play the head-to-head. Here comes your first question, and it concerns beards. Beards, Richard.
Yeah, you don't get this on University Challenge. We're about to show you 5 pictures of famous people with beards. Can you name the most obscure of these 5? They're all men.
Thanks very much. Let's reveal our 5 famous beards, and here they are. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are, 5 famous people with beards. Colin and Dot, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you go first.
We're going for A, Fidel Castro.
Fidel Castro is A, say Colin and Dot. Tristan and Laura, talk us through the board.
Well, B's Abraham Lincoln. D is Pavarotti, but we don't know what E is. But C is the one we'll go for, which is the darts player Andy Fordham.
Andy Fordham, say Tristan and Laura for C. So, A, say Colin and Dot, is Fidel Castro. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Absolutely right. 39. Tristan and Laura are saying C is Andy Fordham. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said Andy Fordham. It's absolutely right. Will it beat 39? Yes, it will. 13. Very well done, Tristan and Laura. After one question, you are up 1-0. Richard.
Fidel Castro versus Andy Fordham. It's the sort of thing you only see on Pointless.
Richard, can I just ask, that's not a trick of lens, is it? I mean, is that really the size of his arms?
It's a slight trick of the lens, but not by much, is the truth. He's a big fella.
Can also say, Fidel Castro there, it's quite rare that you get dictators into a studio for a shoot like that.
I bet he was thinking after that, if this goes well, I can give up running a country, I could be a model maybe.
Yeah.
I bet he's still got those shots somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's one of him going... And old B, I think, is a studio shot as well. I bet there's one of him doing that as well. That's Abraham Lincoln, of course, as the guy said. That would have scored 70 points, though. Pavarotti, as you said as well, D, would have scored you 83 points. And the best answer on the board is E. Do you know E?
George Lucas.
That is George Lucas, and would have scored 8 points. Very well done if you got George Lucas and Andy Fordham. Very impressive.
Well, I think George Lucas looks a bit like a thumb puppet. Someone's just drawn a face onto a thumb. And they've usefully put a bit of beard there, so you know where the face stops. And the rest of George Lucas continues.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
He also has a hairline that starts less than an inch above his eyebrows, which I find weird. But anyway, poor George Lucas.
Yeah, poor George Lucas. He has a terrible life.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, our second question. Here we go. Now then, Colin and Dot, you need to win this question to stay in the game. Our second question concerns Gilbert and Sullivan works. Gilbert and Sullivan works. Richard.
Yes, we're going to give you a list of initials now, which are going to constitute operettas on which Gilbert and Sullivan collaborated. So what do these initials stand for?
OK, let's reveal our 5 Gilbert and Sullivan works in initial form, and here they are. We have got I, TM, TBJ, TPOP, and TYOTG. I'll read those all one last time. I, TM, TBJ, TPOP, and TYOTG. There we are. Tristan and Laura, you go first this time.
I'm not sure I know any of them.
Are there operas?
They're operettas.
Have you got an answer?
Yes, I think the only one we're sure about is the Pirates of Penzance.
That's
TPOP.
the one you're going to go for, TPOP, the Pirates of Penzance. Now then, Colin and Dot, you can talk us through the board if you like.
The top one is Iolanthe. The bottom one is the Yeoman of the Guard. It's just deciding which one would be less. I think the Yeoman of the Guard. We're going for the Yeoman of the Guard.
The Yeoman of the Guard, you are going to say. So we have Pirates of Penzance versus the Yeoman of the Guard. Tristan and Laura have said the Pirates of Penzance. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said that. $20 for the Pirates of Penzance. Colin and Dot have gone for the Yeoman of the Guard. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said that. Very well done. You've won that one. That's what you had to do, Colin and Dot. Very good indeed. That means after 2 questions, it's 1-1. Richard.
Well, the Pirates of Penzance quite a low score. It's actually the highest score on the board, believe it or not. And Yeoman of the Guard was right. And if you said Iolanthe, wouldn't have made much difference, actually, because that would have scored you 9 points. TM is the Mikado. That would have scored 15. The best answer on the board is TBJ. Do you know that one?
I don't know. I can't think what it is.
Trial by jury.
Trial by jury.
Trial by jury would have scored 2 points, so very well done to anyone who got that.
There we are. OK, thank you very much indeed, Richard. Here comes your 3rd question, and it concerns desert island discs. Desert island discs, Richard.
For this final question, we're going to give you 5 clues to facts about the radio programme Desert Island Discs. The team who gets the lowest score is going to go through to the jackpot round. Very best of luck.
OK, thanks. Let's reveal our 5 clues to facts about desert island discs, and here they are. BBC radio station it is transmitted on, the decade it was first broadcast, the broadcaster who became the presenter of the show in 2006, the number of pieces of music each guest chooses, and the track by Benny Hill, chosen by David Cameron. I'll read those all one last time. The BBC radio station it's transmitted on, the decade it was first broadcast, the broadcaster who became presenter of the show in 2006, the number of pieces of music each guest chooses, and the track by Benny Hill, chosen by David Cameron. There we are. 5 clues to facts about desert island discs. Now then, Colin and Dot, you go first this time.
Yeah, okay.
OK. Do we have an answer?
Yes, we do.
OK, well, this is the decider. This will decide who goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot.
We are going for the broadcaster who became presenter of the show in 2006, Kirsty Young.
Kirsty Young, say Colin and Dot. Kirsty Young. Now then, Tristan and Laura, talk us through the board.
We think it's Radio 4. Not sure about the decade, but we'd guess 40s, I guess. Maybe, don't know. And I think to beat their answer, we're going to have a stab at the last one, which I think is Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West.
Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West.
I may have made
Tristan
that up.
and Laura. Colin and Dot have said Kirsty Young. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Kirsty Young. Absolutely right. $12 for Kirsty Young. Tristan and Laura have said Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It is right. Very well done. You didn't make it up. Will it beat 12? Oh, 37. 37 for Ernie, which means Colin and Dot, after 3 questions, you are through to the final 2-1. Very, very well done indeed.
Let's take you through the rest of the board. BBC station is transmitted on, that's Radio 4. Would have scored you 43. Now, if you'd said the 1940s for the decade it was first broadcast, you'd now be in the final, because it would have scored you 2 points. 1940s was absolutely right. The number of pieces of music each guest chooses is
8.
8, absolutely right, and that would have scored 13 points. Very well done if you got all 5 of those. Very well played, Colin and Dot.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So our losing pair at the end of the head-to-head round is Tristan and Laura. Yeah, that was tricky, that
We
that
did think
round.
we'd go out in a politics question, so
Yeah, well,
we did.
there you are. Anyway, it's good news for us because it means we get to see you again next time. Otherwise, that would have been it. But meanwhile, thanks very much for playing. Tristan and Laura, great contestants. But for Colin and Dot, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Colin and Dot. You fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £11,000. Well, you've done so well, so well. You were our low scorers in the first round. Second round, obviously, we had the double pointless. But then back you came. A 2-1 victory in the head-to-head. How are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling delighted.
Well, very best of luck. The rules are very simple. To win the money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. Now, we've had 3 pointless answers on the show today. You only have to find one more now, and you will go home with that £11,000. Firstly, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 5 options. They are action films, chemistry, 20th century dramatists, British bands, rugby.
Right. Ooh. This is where our chemistry together.
Yes, OK.
Works or doesn't work, right.
Don't like the thought of action films.
I like action films.
OK, chemistry is rubbish for me.
Chemistry, I like chemistry.
20th century dramatists, I could do.
Not for
that
me.
brilliant. OK, you go for it, you choose. I'll go with
We'll
it.
go for action films. You okay with
Yes,
that?
we're going with action films.
Action films it is. OK, well, let's find out what the question
Could be
is.
hard.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many actors in the Mission Impossible films as they could.
Oh.
Richard.
Yeah, we'd like you to name any actor in any of the Mission Impossible films up to May 2012, please. We won't accept Anthony Hopkins, Emilio Estevez and Tom Wilkinson, who all appeared in those films but weren't credited. It has to be someone who's credited in one of the Mission Impossible films. Very best of luck.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £11,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yes.
OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Right, Tom Cruise is the
Tom Cruise,
obvious.
obviously.
Right, that's going to be last.
Yeah.
He must have had co-stars, female co-stars. Can we think who he might have had as female co-stars?
Right.
I haven't actually seen any of them, have you?
Good-looking female co-stars.
Good looking. What about, what's that woman, Uma Thurman? Has she been in any of the Mission Impossibles?
Possible.
Uma Thurman.
She's a possibility,
Somebody
yes.
else go with it. Catherine Zeta-Jones is with Sean Connery in a similar thing.
Yeah, that's a different
Who else could Tom Cruise have appeared in Mission Impossible? Oh, I wish my husband was here. He's seen them all. He loves the films. Do I know any? No, come on. Female leads in the last...
Or go for some baddies.
Go.
Alan Rickman's or
Alan Rickman.
Pierce Brosnan's. No.
Gene Hackman. He's often a baddie.
What is a good-looking
Somebody
lady
else.
actor?
Don't think Rennie's Elvie
10
is in
seconds
it.
left.
OK, so we're going to go with Tom Cruise, definitely last. Uma Thurman we'll go for, and what's your one? The baddie?
OK. I'm afraid that's your time up. We were looking for actors in the Mission Impossible films. I now need your 3 answers.
OK, Tom Cruise.
Tom
That's
Cruise.
a no-brainer. Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman.
Alan Rickman.
Alan
We'll try.
Rickman. OK, there we are. 3 answers. Of those 3, which do you think's your best shot at a pointless answer?
Oh, Uma Thurman?
Uma Thurman. We'll put her last.
Yes, looks
And
good in a catsuit.
the least likely to be pointless.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise,
Oh,
I think, probably. Yes, let's put him first. OK, let's put those up on the board in that order. And here they are. We have got Tom Cruise, Alan Rickman, and Uma Thurman. So we were looking for actors in the Mission Impossible films. Tom Cruise, your first answer, the one you thought was least likely to be pointless. I think you're probably right there. You only have to find one pointless answer, remember, to win that jackpot of £11,000. So let's see how many people said Tom Cruise. Well, it's right. If this were to go... Oh, yeah, there we go. I was about to say, if this goes down to
No
0.
surprise.
It's 24, didn't you?
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
Well, I think we'd have been surprised if it had been any less than 76, frankly. Unfortunately, not a pointless answer. You only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot of £11,000. Colin, what would you do with £11,000?
I think I would possibly take my wife on a holiday to China for our 30th wedding anniversary next year.
OK, well, many congratulations for the 30th wedding anniversary. And Dot, how about you?
Actually, I'm not in favour of cosmetic surgery, but I would love to get my teeth done. So if we won, I would get my teeth done. Bite the bullet, excuse the pun.
OK, very good. Well, very, very best of luck. Let's hope one of your 2 remaining answers happens to be right. We're looking for actors in the Mission Impossible films. Let's hope nobody said your next answer, Alan Rickman. It has to be right, then it has to be pointless. If it's both of those things, you leave here with £11,000. Let's see, how many people said Alan Rickman? Is it right?
Wrong film.
Wrong film.
Die Hard.
You only have one more chance to win today's jackpot, so everything is now riding on Uma Thurman. This you thought was probably your most likely shot at a pointless answer if it was right. OK, let's see. Uma Thurman. Is it right? Is it pointless? How many people said Uma Thurman? Oh, bad luck. Also an incorrect answer. Well, unfortunately, you didn't manage to find the all-important pointless answer. But you do still get to go home with a pointless trophy, so very, very well done.
Yeah, well played, Colin. Tough last category. Alan Rickman, of course, played the baddie in Die Hard, Uma Thurman in The Avengers. But if you haven't seen the films, quite hard to name the actors from that film. Let's take a look at some pointless answers. Anil Kapoor, perhaps best known to British audiences as the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in Slumdog Millionaire. Brendan Gleeson, who of course is Mad-Eye Moody in the Harry Potter films. Dougray Scott would have won you the money. Eddie Marsan, who just is in absolutely everything, plays Lestrade in the most recent Sherlock Holmes movies, for example. Jeremy Renner, who was Oscar-nominated for The Hurt Locker. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers from Bend It Like Beckham, The Tudors, all sorts of things like that. Maggie Q, who's the star of the US series Nikita. Philip Seymour Hoffman won an Oscar for Capote. He's also in the Mission Impossible films. William Maypother, who's in Lost, but is also Tom Cruise's cousin. Tom Cruise's real name is Tom Maypother. Very well done if you've got any of those at home.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Colin and Dot, but it's been wonderful having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Great contestants. Well, Colin and Dot didn't win our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £12,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.